what's up? It's Nick here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about sky replacement in Adobe Photoshop. So, I recently went out and took a whole bunch of pictures, and I thought, let's Photoshop some of these pictures and see what I can do and see what would be good to show you guys for some Photoshop tutorials. So, we're going to be talking about I almost said sky color correction, but that was another video. This is sky replacement in Adobe Photoshop. So here is our final product. This is a lovely picture that I took of the Inner Harbor in good old Baltimore, Maryland. As you can see, we have the trees and the flags and the building over here, and then we have a nice blue sky with a whole bunch of clouds in it in the background. But this isn't anything at all what my original photo looked like. This was my original photo. As you could see, the sky is blue, definitely, but it was shot a little bit overexposed, and we have kind of just this blue nothingness right there. And the sky is kind of boring, and it doesn't really look that good. And so what we want to do is we want to replace it to make it look like this right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's a really simple, very easy process, actually. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a photo. I'm going to use this example photo right here, which is just a scaled down version of the original photo. So that way we don't have any lag whilst we're recording. And then I have a picture of the blue sky right here, which you can get just by Googling. Just Google image search blue sky or something and save that image and just use that. And we're going to be using these images for the purposes of making this video. So let's open up our original picture. By the way, I'm using Adobe Photoshop version CS4, but you can use any version that you want to. Let's zoom in here just a little bit so that you can see. And the first thing I like to do always is unlock my layer, and then I like to make a duplicate of it so that we can always have a version of the original to look back on. And I don't want to open up the layer properties, I just want to rename it to 1. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our layer that we want to edit. We want to go to selection, and then color range, or select and color range. And then you want to click anywhere in the sky region over here, and this will select all of the colors that are in the sky. So as you can notice, we have a plain blue sky with nothing really in it, and so this will select just that. And so we're going to keep the settings to right around here. We're going to click OK. And this will select all of this. Now, as you can notice down here, we have a little bit of the water selected from down here. And we don't want the water selected because as soon as we click delete, it will delete all of the sky that we selected as well as some of the water down there. So we're going to go and grab our quick selection tool over here. Hold down the Option key if you're on a Mac and the Alt key if you're on a PC, and then just drag. And what holding the Option or Alt key will do is that will deselect only this certain area, so that way we aren't selecting the water. Let's just do some of that, and that looks good. Let's click delete, and it looks like nothing happened. That's because we have our original in the background. Let me just hide our original, and as you can see, boom, there we go. No more sky. Now, the only problem that we're going to have here is if I zoom in, if you notice we still have some blue pixels over here. You can try to get rid of those by selecting color range again. Click on some of those blue pixels and then erase them. We're not going to do that for the purposes of this video though, because we want to get this done relatively quickly. So we've now removed the sky. So the next thing we need to do is find our replacement sky. And we want to drag that in. And this is a lot bigger than it was on my last image because this is resized. And we're just going to move that over there. And as you can see, we now have the sky layered behind our original image. Now, this is what I said before with all the problems. As you can see, all of the pixelation and such. So we're going to go back to selecting color range, and I'm going to try and get rid of as much of this as possible because it's bugging the crap out of me. So that was a pretty good selection. The one thing that really bugs me about this image is all this pixelation in the center that you can really pick up on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the eraser tool, and I'm going to just erase all of that center pixelation. Maybe not too much. We just want to erase enough of that so that we don't have all of the pixelation showing, and we actually have most of the sky. And the cool part about this is not too much is in the portion of the image that we're erasing. So let's just keep on erasing. And remember, when you're doing this to your images, be sure to pay more attention to detail than I am right now, because I'm only doing this for demonstration purposes, but that seems pretty good for what we want to do. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add in some color correction, because the color of the sky in the replacement image and the color of the image that I took aren't exactly matching each other 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, and I'm going to lower the brightness and up the contrast a little bit. And I'm going to maybe lower the curves a little bit, make it a little bit darker. And the last thing, we're going to change the color balance, make it a little bit blue, a little bit more green, up the yellows a little bit. And compared to our original, let me just hide the sky. Here's our color correction. Here's the original. As you can see, it's a lot more vibrant with a lot more green in there. And now we're going to choose the sky, and we're going to add some of these same color corrections. I'm just going to add in a color balance for now. So we're going to up the blues, up the greens, up these blues a lot. And that actually makes it look really, really blue. And now, as you can see, we up the colors, we up the greens on the plants, and we up the blue on the sky. And so now they look like they match almost perfectly. There could be some work done with the little pixelation, but that matches pretty well for what we want to do. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to add in our little black edges and the lighting effects that I did for mine. Now, what I normally do when I show you guys a Photoshop tutorial is I tell you to fill the background in just with black and then erase the edges. Well, I actually found a better way to add in that kind of edges effect that I normally show you guys. To do that, go to Filter, go to Render, and then go to Lighting Effects. And then I'm going to choose 2 o'clock spotlight and keep the settings just the way I have them right here, and click OK. And then boom, there we go. And so that is how we got the final image that I have right here. And that's basically the basics of it. I said basics really a lot there, but that's what we got. That's how to do sky. I keep wanting to say sky color correction, but that's how to do sky replacement in Adobe Photoshop. You can do this in almost any version of Adobe Photoshop. There just might be a couple things different depending on your version. Be sure to pay attention more to detail and have fun with this. You can use this for a whole lot of varieties of different things, whether you want to make a picture look better or you just want to add in some cool effects. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you a lot for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for more videos, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I also have to apologize for my random rambling. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial, and I'm a little rusty at my little tutorial speech. So thank you a lot for watching again. I'm going to shut up now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.